Right now, officials in Nassau County are holding a press conference to update the public on the Long Beach water situation. 3 schools were closed today after a water sample tested positive for E. coli and a student was diagnosed with a possible E. coli infection. Let's go ahead and listen in.
Sample result collected from the City of Long Beach water system, which tested positive for E. coli. So these tests are ongoing. We do about 250,000 every year in Nassau County as just part of our routine water testing. And this E. coli turned up through that routine testing. Based on the sampling result, our county ordered the City of Long Beach water system to issue a boil water alert to the entire Long Beach community. We immediately activated our emergency action plan, and our teams of water sanitarians and engineer went into full action working to address this. I want to thank the cooperation from the City of Long Beach and the help and support that we got from the State of New York to deal with this situation. I also want to thank the City of Long Beach Police Department and the County Police Department for making sure that everything in the water distribution happens smoothly and safely and quickly as possible. As I said on Friday, the boil water alert would remain in effect until all water sampling results indicated that the water was free of bacteria and safe to consume. And with that, I would like to now turn it over to the Health Commissioner of the State of New York, Dr. Howard Zucker.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Dr. Howard Zucker, the New York State Health Commissioner, and I'm pleased to be here with you this morning to share some positive news that we received. As you know, we've been working with the City of Long Beach and Nassau County since early Friday after we first learned the detections of E. coli in the public water system that serves this community. And I'm pleased to report this morning that the test results we just received are negative for E. coli. This follows results which showed no detections that we received yesterday. So that means that with 2 consecutive rounds of favorable results, the boil water order for this community will be lifted effective immediately. Boil water orders are lifted only after we receive 2 consecutive negative tests. Boil water orders are put in place as a precaution to ensure the health and safety of customers on the public water supply. E. coli can cause gastrointestinal discomfort, including cramping, diarrhea, vomiting, which is why we take these precautions to ensure that nobody becomes ill. At this stage, customers should feel confident returning to the public water supply for all uses. I want to thank Governor Cuomo for his support on managing this issue and for providing 115,000 bottles of water for this community through the weekend, including all the visitors who came here for the community's Pride Parade this past weekend. I want to thank the City of Long Beach, Nassau County, the Nassau County Health Department for their quick action to ensure health and safety for customers. And my team from Albany and regional staff from the Department of Health are on site today to continue to work with the water treatment operators and to ensure the appropriate measures remain in place so this does not happen again. We thank everyone for all the time and the effort that they've put into this. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I also just want to give a quick thanks to former Assemblyman Harvey Wiesenberg, who is with us. Thank you for being here and everything you've done. So as Dr. Zucker said, working with the state, we, combined with Nassau County, we've delivered well over 130,000 bottles of water to the residents of Long Beach. We mobilized immediately, we mobilized quickly. Of course, the most important function of your government is the public safety, is the safety and welfare of our residents. We have protocols in place, the protocols were followed, and we all worked incredibly hard to bring back health into the water of Long Beach. So we thank everyone very much. I'd like to turn it now over to the City Manager of Long Beach, Rob Agostino.
Thank you, County Executive Karen. As we all know, this has been a truly harrowing ordeal, and the city owes a huge debt of gratitude to all who worked tirelessly around the clock to assist the city in its time of need. That includes Governor Cuomo, first and foremost, for releasing about 30,000 bottles of water that were distributed to residents over the last 3 days. Also, the State Department of Homeland Security, who facilitated that release. We also offer our deep appreciation to County Executive Laura Curran and the Nassau County Department of Health for moving lockstep with the city with respect to sample testing and retesting to ensure the safety of our water supply. Thank you to the office of the Nassau County Office of Emergency Management, who literally worked throughout the night with me on Friday into Saturday coordinating the second large delivery on Sunday morning of bottled water. I offer a special note of thanks, however, to our city workers, particularly our CSEA staff in the Department of Public Works, working under Deputy City Manager Greg Scott and Superintendent Tom Canner, who literally worked all night receiving bottles of water while they were supposed to be sleeping, getting enough sleep, that is, to prepare for LGBT Pride Fest, which occurred here on Sunday. As this crisis played out, what may seem like a miracle in that regard was actually just the city workforce doing exactly what it did here after Sandy ravaged this city, and what they will do no matter what is thrown their way. They make it work. And now I'd like to turn it over to County Legislator Denise Ford.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out. And I do want to say that we have demonstrated how in a time of crisis that all levels of government can come together, right from the state down to the county into the city. Every agency was put on high alert to make sure that we can get through this weekend. And it was a very, very trying weekend for every resident and every visitor here in the city of Long Beach. It was rather frightening to think that we can ingest E. coli and compromise our health systems. The County Executive, Laura Kern, I thank you very much because you've shown true leadership in all this and getting everybody to work together. And Dr. Eisenstein, the calls that you receive from all of us, and I have to say, on behalf, we are in good hands with our Commissioner of Health and our Department of Health, and that is why over the years they have won numerous national awards for the hard work that they do on behalf of all the residents in Nassau County. So I just want to acknowledge that to let you know that he was constantly monitoring this. And yes, we owe our debt of gratitude to our city workers and to everybody who helped in getting us through this weekend. But I also want to send out a heartfelt thanks to all of the residents who stayed calm during this time, who made sure that they took care of their neighbors, many people taking upon themselves to deliver water to those that were stuck at home. I thank Liz Treston with Long Beach Co-ed, who made it a point to post on her Facebook page all the steps that we needed to take to protect ourselves during this crisis and to make sure that we use clean water and what to do and what to not to do when you have seen E. coli in the water. And I want to thank Governor Cuomo as well, also for his help, but also for the fact that he has dedicated money. He has said that he's going to use money toward our water systems to help upgrade, to fight against contaminants. And trust me, while this crisis is over, the work has just begun for each and every single one of us, that we have to go after and ask Governor Cuomo to help us with our water system. The workers do a phenomenal job and doing the best that they can, but we know we need a new system, we need it upgraded, we need it done now, and trust me on this, I am going to work with each and every single level of government and every resident here in the city of Long Beach. The time is now to make this change. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Legislator Ford. We're happy to take any questions that you might have.
I guess just a general question. A lot of residents were asking me this morning, how does something like this happen? I guess they've asked the health commissioner, how does E. coli get in the water system?
So as you know, we constantly monitor the water supply all over the county, whether it's municipal, whether it's private supplier, whether it's a water district. And so pinpointing the source of contamination is something that is being investigated, and with more information on that, I'll give the specifics. For the specifics, I'll give it over to Dr. Larry Eisenstein.
Thank you, County Executive Curran. Thank you to the Governor for the great support. The City of Long Beach has been a wonderful partner, and I very much appreciate it. And the State Health Department always works so closely with us. To answer your question, right now, the State Health Department has sent water engineers and sanitarians who are working with Nassau County Department of Health sanitarians and water engineers to try and pinpoint what the potential source is. The fact is, when we do get these cases, which is rare and sporadic, very often we don't find the source, but the chlorine that's put in the water eradicates it, and we may or may not have an answer for you, but I assure you that the State Health Department's employees, water team, along with Nassau County Department of Health, they're right now trying to pinpoint it, trying to find the source, and certainly, if they do find something, it'll be rectified immediately.
Just as a follow-up, legislator, you said you suggested that there's something wrong with the system that wouldn't have caused this. What's wrong with the system that you think caused?
I'm not an expert, and our DPW commissioner will tell you that they've been working very hard But I believe that we have like maybe 2 wells that are down. And I think just for the confidence of the residents here in the city of Long Beach, that we know we have to Superstorm Sandy, a lot of things were compromised. But I think that we need to take a look at this and see, just to make sure that there is no issue with our water system. And if there is, then we need to get the money so that we can upgrade it and fix it.
Does the chlorine give a false negative? And how do you know it's still not being contaminated as we speak?
Before we get into that question, I just want to clarify. In the city of Long Beach, there are 8 wells and 1 is down at the moment.
Correct. Sorry, thank you.
That's quite all right. I think that's
Do you want to?
false positive for chlorine.
Yeah.
This is John Mirando, City of Long Beach Commissioner of Public Works, to answer your question.
I'm happy if you want to.
Sure. And I'd have to agree with the Commissioner of Nassau County Health. Chances are we're never going to know what caused this positive, but just so everybody's aware, on that same day that we got the first positive, we took 9 other samples throughout the system, as we do 40 samples a month, and all those samples were clear. So this could be an isolated incident. It could have been a bad sampling tap. It could have been a bad sample bottle. When you start to run many and numerous microbiological samples, there's always a chance for cross-contamination. So chances are this might have just been local in that one area and just at that one tap.
And you were the condition of the sick child.
I don't know anything about the sick child. We did do a sample there, and at the owner's request, and that sample came back negative also.
Can someone please address some residents' concerns that the negative samples now, the all clear now, is based on having flushed the system with chlorine? So they're asking, how do we know that the source water is safe?
So I'm going to have Don Irwin from our Department of Health answer that. He has a specialization in microbes in water.
I'm the Environmental Health Director.
The Environmental Health Director.
Okay, so what you should know is that the water systems are routinely chlorinated. That's part of protecting the water from contamination. When this positive happened, the city, as they're required to, went back and sampled all of their wells, all of their tanks, and all of those samples came up negative. So the chlorine was increased as a precaution, but the water system is routinely chlorinated, as it is in all the public water systems, to protect the water supply from any kind of biological contamination.
So you're saying the source water is safe?
We haven't gotten any positives from wells or from storage tanks.
Does an aging water infrastructure make the growth of E. coli more likely?
Not necessarily, no, if it's maintained properly, but you know, it's always beneficial to upgrade infrastructure.
How long did it take to flush the system? How the flush starts Friday afternoon and when was it done? Was it fit up?
Well, this was not a complete, flush of the system. This was to flush a higher dose of chlorine towards the area where we found the first positive sample. So what you do is you flush your system towards that location to get the residual up there. And one thing should be noted, in every sample we've taken, even the one that came up negative, there was a chlorine residual. So, which leads me, in my experience over 40 years, to believe that this is more related to the location that the sample was taken at. And I think, though, however, I think the city really did the right thing and being overcautious to make sure that everything was safe before we went back. And we did do 30 additional samples throughout the system. They all came back negative.
So was the flush done by Saturday afternoon?
I would have to check that. I don't have that exact. I unfortunately was out on a bereavement leave, had a loss in the family, so I would have to just check that detail for you.
And when you say it could be at the location where it was found, does that mean potentially it's just that homeowners?
Right. There could have been a cross contamination within the house or where we took the sample from. We took the first sample from a sample tap. We have remote sample taps throughout the system that we take samples from, and with all the rain and stuff we've had, the first one could have been, a contaminated sample site. But it's just a matter of going back and redoing the samples. We're fine. So.
And Executive, do you know if the schools that were closed?
We have been listening to Nassau County health officials give an update on the water situation in Long Beach. A boil water advisory that has been in effect since Friday has just been lifted after the latest test results came back negative for E. coli. The state health commissioner says the public should be confident returning to the public water supply and that it is safe to drink again. Health officials say that they are still working to determine the cause of the original contamination, but say that they may never find out where it actually came from.